What's up, everybody? Let's go. All right, I'm going to try and make this about a 30-minute stream, 35-minute stream. I don't want to go too long, but I do have a ton. I'm going to do a video here, another one real soon. I have a lot to go over here other than AMC, but how do you not go over all the great news going on with the AMC? There is one big hurdle for AMC that nobody's talking about that I do want to go over because it's insanely important and it could really affect us again, and we could be looking at potentially another type of strike situation. So I do want people to be aware of this, but we'll get into everything going on. So today, little Billy, a little announcement came out. We restructured up to $2.5 billion of our debt, moved it to from 2026 to 2029 and up to 2030. So this is one of the things we were talking about coming up next. I thought it was going to happen in about a week and a half here, after they let Deadpool kind of explode, but the box office is doing so well right now, it doesn't matter to wait for the week. So let's go ahead and let's break some of this stuff down here. There's some good, there's some bad, there's some things I want people to be aware of in this debt restructure. And I mean, we pretty much said this was going to happen. There is going to be convertible notes, so I do want people to look at those, and we'll talk about those for a second. I told you guys those would probably be involved in this to get these better terms, to get better financing. We can save tons of money through this, up to $414 million. There's a whole bunch of things that AMC can do here with this restructure. So let's go ahead and let's break this down a little bit. So as you guys can see, we moved up to $2.45 billion, which is almost half of AMC's debt. If you guys come down here and look, $1.2 billion of new secure term loans is now due in 2029 instead of 2026. They also have the potential to extend an additional $800 million of the 2026 maturities to 2029 as well. I'm sure they're going to need to pay down a little bit more, do something to be able to move that out as well. But I'm sure they're going to end up moving that as well. But that, like I said, the amount of leeway and relief that this just gave AMC is insane. So you have an additional $800 million that we can do. There's $500 million of the 10 to 12% of the second lien. These are going to be due in 2026. We're now exchanged to secure term loans of 2029. Now they're going to do some new exchangeable note type debt. One of the things that they can do with this exchangeable note debt is they got issued up to $114 million, and what they can do is either pay on $500 million of cash, or they can take the proceeds that they're going to get with these exchangeable notes, and they can repay that down and save themselves an additional $86 million, which that's good terms for AMC, and I'm sure that's exactly what they'll do if they end up getting those exchangeable notes due, or exchanged or converted over here. So Opportunity reduces the debt by $464 million through the conversion of exchangeable notes. One of the other things that this does is he can also issue an additional $50 million in exchangeable notes. They haven't done that yet. Now, when a lot of people are going to see this, you can have $414 million in exchangeable notes. Okay, so I do want people to realize there will be exchangeable notes in this. I totally expected these. Now, there's good and there's bad with these. So usually when these exchangeable notes are set, they set them to a price high above market. So a lot of these people are going, well, if it gets to $8, $9, $6, $7, $8, he might just. No, it's usually like 15, 10, 15, 12, 13, $14. So you set it to about $13, $14, and what that will do is that lines your interest up with the shareholders, or with the lenders. So now everybody's on the same page. Everybody wants the company to hit that price. Now, when it hits those certain prices, they have the opportunity. They don't necessarily need to do it as well. They can cash in on those convertible notes, or they can wait. Like I said, they can wait till it gets higher price. They can do whatever they want when it hits that certain price, or they can cash them in. So again, when this happens at the time, it will lower the cost of AMC, and when they repay it back with the debt, it should push the price right back, because again, you're paying off a whole bunch of debt, and by doing this, you're also gaining an additional $86 million, plus you're paying off the $464 million through other convertible notes. So you basically would be paying down $500 million of debt. So by them converting, you're paying off $500 million in debt. The $500 million should offset the conversion, the total of shares that converts. Now, let's say the price is at $15. They put it, or $13. You're only looking at 36 million shares around. 37 million shares around. So it's like, yes, that will affect it, but paying off the $500 million could offset that. So again, I just want everybody to be aware. This is out there. They can convert those notes. We do now have convertible notes out there. Or they're exchangeable, sorry. So once again, I just want everyone to be aware of that. But once again, if you come down here and keep looking, there's one more thing I want to show you guys. Oh yeah, the 50 million, but we already went over that. So once again, this is amazing news for AMC because by pushing this out, you guys are already seeing the box office. This quarter, we should be very profitable. If you guys, 2025, we should be profitable. 2026, we should be profitable. So at this, 2026 should blow every single year out of the last decade out of the water. 2026, you will break 12 to 13 billion. There's no way that we don't. Even if the world's in an economic recession, as you saw in the Depression, the one thing it does not affect is the box office. Everybody still needs an escape. And one of the things that was supposed to crush the box office is the streaming services. And as we've been going over, and we'll get into more in a second, those are going more and more and more downhill. Now, one of the things that I wanted, oh man, I forgot to show. Let me pull this up while I'm still talking here. So the main thing we needed right now was this debt restructure. So little Billy is insanely happy. Little Billy, let's drop quick. Little Billy right now, he's got a big smile on his face right now. He's jacked. Little Billy's jacked. He sees profits. He's on his feet. Little Billy, for the first time ever, he finally threw his crutches. They're gone. He's chucking them. They go. He doesn't need his crutches anymore. He's now just to a walking cane. He's just got one walking cane. He's still in recovery. He's still in recovery because if you guys didn't hear the story of little Billy, one day little Billy was crossing the street and this thing called COVID was a bus. This bus called COVID came and smoked little Billy. Little Billy ended up going to the hospital, and when he was laying on his hospital bed, he wasn't doing too hot. He had all of these short sellers, all the doctors around him, betting that little Billy was not going to make it. There's no way little Billy makes it through this death-defying accident. And all of a sudden, the apes came in, and they donated and donated blood, and they donated blood, and now it is time for little Billy to finally get out of the hospital. And all these doctors, it's time they start to fuck themselves, because this was their biggest obstacle. Like I said, we have one more thing coming up that we absolutely need to discuss. If you have AMC, you have to pay attention to this. This is insanely important. It's going to be the last thing we get into, but we have to watch this. But right now, little Billy, like I said, he's feeling great right now. Little Billy is on a full path to recovery and then some. Every one of these short sellers, last week you had 6 million shorts come out. Again, you saw the price today skyrocket, and then they've halted it, of course. And one of the things that they did is they halted it on news. A lot of people were wondering why they were able to halt the stock for so long. It was not a LUD halt. It was a halt on news, which they're allowed a whole different set of rules. And they're allowed to halt the stock a lot longer than they would on a LUD halt, which is why they were able to do that today. So again, little Billy right now, this was the biggest obstacle they needed to overcome after the strike, and that was this debt refinance. Looking at the terms, like I said, this helps AMC. The exchangeable notes helps, again, debt. Again, I do want you guys to be aware. When they exchange those, the price will drop momentarily, but again, you will be paying off $500 million in debt, which will again skyrocket the price. You will be able to again refinance at better terms down the road when you pop off an extra $500 million. So again, they suck, but the way that it's structured and the way that it is to take off $500 million extra doing it, it should offset it. So it doesn't suck as much as a lot of these people are going to try to spin this. This convertible, these exchangeable notes are not, all the shills are going to go crazy. Look, he fucked you. If this thing goes to like $6, $7, $8, he's going to flood it with 80 million shares. No, they're going to set it at a higher price, 15, 12. So when, like I said, when these do get converted, it will be 25, 35, 40 million shares at most, but you will be paying off a $500 million doing it. Just so you know. So, like I said, just want everyone to be aware of the type of the way this is structured. But again, this is a very, in my eyes, this looks like a very, very good restructure. Pretty friendly to AMC. Let's see what happens here. Like I said, the price, this was our biggest obstacle. Now I think the price should definitely skyrocket, should recover when you have Deadpool come out next week. See, if you guys look at the box office right now currently we're at 703 million already. And this is exactly where I said we would be. Told you guys at this point right now, my exact prediction for the month, we would be at 700 million exactly. So, I mean, we're actually 3 million over what I thought we would be at. Now, throughout the rest of the week, we will hit about 800 million. They predict Deadpool to have 160 to 165 million opening weekend, okay? So if you give Deadpool 165 million, you're still going to have Twister. Even if Twister does half of what it did, that's still another 50 million. So it's like you're already up to 215 million. You add in all the other movies, you're going to be at about 260, 255 for next weekend. That will put us at 1 billion, and then you got to add the week. So I mean, you're going to be looking at a 1.15 to a 1.2 billion month. That's insane. That is perfect. That's exactly where I said we would be. We'd be at about 1.55 to about 1.2. Perfect. Now, if you look at Deadpool, the other movies coming out next month, I predicted we would be about a 700 to 750 million box office. You add that to the 1.2, we're already looking at, 1.9, almost 2 billion. And then in August, I easily see us doing, September, I easily see us doing at least 800. So it's like I projected about 2.75 to a 2.8 billion box office, which is pure profits once again for AMC. Next quarter, if you look at the movies next quarter, not next month, the quarter after this, again, we're going to have another 2.6, 2.7 billion box office. The rest of this year, AMC will be profitable. Next year, they will be profitable. They moved out the debt restructure. AMC was a dying company, and it was a short play. And then they shorted the fuck out of it. They moved it all over the place. AMC is now not only a short squeeze play, AMC is a full recovery play. AMC in the box office, they just needed content. They will continuously reduce theaters. They will continuously renegotiate rent. They will continuously reduce cost burn. They have a Roblox movie coming out, which they are the full distributor on. So that, again, I see AMC's distribution. The only thing I can think about it being quiet is they're trying to get into more films as well as concert films. Because concert films, you had your Beyonce, you had your Taylor Swift, those blew up. But it's like Billie Eilish, she did good, but it wasn't like something to go crazy about. So it's like they need to get into full-on movie distribution. But the problem to get into that is you need cash, you need reserves, you need profits. Well, that is exactly where we're heading. So again, we will go ahead and we'll keep improving on the popcorn, sweets. I expect them to be in grocery stores at least by this time next year. AMC will continuously recover, pay down debt. I'm feeling insanely good about this play. Now, if you're a short squeeze, if you've been shorting forever, your thesis is fucking dead. AMC is not going out of business. On top of that, if you look at AMC outside of it and you look over to Odin, this came out 6 days ago. AMC Odin are going to expand their luxury venues, so they're actually upgrading Odin's as well. They're going to expand their theaters reach. They're going to add more theaters in the UK as well. So AMC is going to have a bigger footprint outside of the United States. Perfect. So again, more profits for AMC. More good news for AMC. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and if you guys ever want to look at what type of halt it was, you guys can come look right here and see the halt type, and you guys can see the difference between LUD. What is AMC's total debt right now? It's like 4.6 or something. I can't remember. Because I don't look at like, you don't want to look at it's 4.5 billion. We're at 4.5. If you look right now, AMC is at 4.543 billion. And if you guys look, we're actually at pre-COVID levels almost with our debt. So, 1 second here. So again, even if we exchange, even if they do that, those exchange for cash, we'll take off $500 million out of 4.5 billion. You greatly reduce the debt. Let me go see if she's okay. 1 second here. All right, I'm gonna have to go a little quicker here. So again, we're at about 4.5 billion. What was this? Sorry, I had something else pulled up here. Oh yeah, right now. So again, theaters are everything's going better and better and better for us. This debt restructure for AMC, it's like I said, Billy's becoming a full recovery play. And then when you guys look over at streaming services, once again, Netflix is removing its cheapest ad-free plan. So these guys are, every single one of them, they're becoming cable. You now need to have ads in every single plan or you're paying $20 a month. Netflix has their best, or their plan was like $25 I paid last month. So I just canceled it. I'm done with that. But this is my point. They continuously over on these streaming services upcharge. Now they're getting more expensive. Now they're adding more and more and more commercials, the things you were getting away from, you're trying to get away from. 1 second here, sorry. She's okay. I might go up there in a second here. Now, one of the things here that I wanted to show you guys too as well,
commercials or reality TV
is, let me pull this up here real quick. This guy's talking about Hollywood and he's talking about production and he's talking about TV studios and everything like that, but he's not talking. But if you look at the movies are coming out, movies are exploding, and this is something that is going in AMC's favor. This talks about production, and it talks about COVID. Movie and TV productions and TV show production, if you look right now, it's at an all-time low. It hasn't been this low since 2001. These guys, I'm sorry, Q 2021. Sorry, so they're way below pre-COVID levels. So right now, they're not making any new content for TV. They're not making content for these streaming services. It's at an all-time low. So what this thing talks about, if you guys want to watch this video, I'll post it. I'm not going to play the thing. But it talks about how, other than movies right now, they're running out of ideas. They haven't been writing. The strike has been affecting everything. New content's far away. So, like I said, what that's going to do is make it so people want to go see movies at AMC down the road when these better movies are coming out next year and the year after that. Because, again, you're going to have less content and they're going to have that thirst for a good movie, a thirst for, good content. Because they're not going to be getting that anytime soon. If you look at the production chart, look at this. These are shoot days by category. And it talks about feature films, dramas, reality TV shows, everything. If you see, production for TV and movie studios and feature films is on the rise. Production for movies is on the rise, as you can see, while production for TVs and for production for streaming is going down. They're realizing streaming isn't making them money, and movie production's going back up because they see people are going back to the box office. So this shows you even Hollywood is walking away from the streaming, walking away from TV shows and getting back towards making big box office content. And that is all amazing news for AMC. What was this one here? I can't remember what I had on this tab. Oh, this was the next thing I wanted to show you guys, again for AMC. Some more amazing news if you guys look at the bond percentage. The bond percentages are now trading 10% year in market. So at this point, you guys can see they're rating them at CCC, no longer BBs. So in other words, there's far less chance of bankruptcy. So the bond market is going to continue, and this was before the debt refinance. So after the debt refinances, you're going to see again the bond market again, and everybody realizing the chances of AMC going bankrupt are gone. They're pretty much gone. They're not fully gone, because I'm going to show you one last thing that we all need to pay attention to. This is a massive deal. The only thing that can hurt AMC right now, the only thing that can stop us. Oh, and once again, Halo has been canceled by Paramount Plus. So once again, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I didn't like that show. It was a big show for them. It was still one of their top face-branded shows. So when you cancel a top face-branded show, that is going to affect your streaming platform. So again, they're canceling TV while studios are now shooting more and more, like I showed you in that video. But the last thing I wanted to show you guys, she's in a lot of pain, so I'm gonna have to get going here real quick. The last thing I do want to show everybody, because this is very, very, very important, and this could hurt us a lot. There's a Teamster. They're in negotiations. There's a Teamster strike in Hollywood, and if the Teamsters do not come to an agreement by July 31st, you could potentially have another goddamn strike in Hollywood. Now, this won't perfect as it will hurt movies, but they'll be able to hire new people and replace people. So I don't think it's going to delay as many movies, but this will again affect TV production, affect streaming services. But this will, again, it will hurt us. It will hurt AMC. You could have another strike. So they're far apart. This is a big deal. This is the 19th. You guys, we need to pay attention to the AMPTP negotiations that are going on. It is very, very important that these negotiations get done. So again, something for everybody to keep an eye on. But I gotta go. She's in a lot of pain. I gotta go rub her for a little bit. Like I said, I will be live tomorrow. I have a ton of stuff I couldn't go over today. I just wanted to go over the AMC news with everybody, but AMC did do a debt restructure. So thank you guys for listening, and have a good day.